What's up, everybody? King of Fomo here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. Make sure you follow me over there on Telegram. That's t.me/King of Fomo1, as well as my chat, which is going to be linked in the description below. I also have a website and a podcast. If you want to listen to this stuff on the go, it is available for you. So today we're going to be talking about something that I'm very excited about. I've been looking forward to this for over 6 months. We are talking about Wisetoken today. This is the competitor to Hex, and I think it has a lot of upside potential. It's launching, like I said, in about 6 hours. If you go over to the timer right here, 6 hours and 12 minutes. And when it launches, it's going to be distributed to the people who purchased in on this reservation period, and it's going to get onto Uniswap as well. On Uniswap, I think it's going to have somewhere around $57 million on Uniswap, which is crazy as it is. That's both with Wise and Ethereum, which is insane. You can see 57,000 Ethereum put into this thing altogether. We're only increasing in that in the last day here. And we're looking forward to what's coming next. So, of course, you're going to have people that speculate, and of course, you're going to have your naysayers and deniers. But honestly, the smart thing to do is always just be in the middle. You should never be overly confident about a project, and you should never be like hating the project before it does anything at all. Just stay in the middle and to try and understand how to make profit. If you're on either of the polarized sides, that's when you end up losing off a lot. So one of the coins that I obviously am going to compare this to is with Hex. And Wisetoken couldn't be launching at a better time, because with Hex right now, Hex is up about 72% in the past week. It is on fire right now. It's raising up to close to its previous all-time high of about 1 cent, which is insane for Hex. And a lot of people had the same speculation that Hex was going to die out and do nothing, and yet here it is, still surviving a couple of months after the final day here. So that even though Wisetoken is a competitor to Hex, this is good news because it shows that the model for Hex potentially does work. And you have a lot of big buyers in Hex who are not married to the platform and saying that this is the only good thing that can ever exist, that are going to look at opportunities. They're opportunists looking for other things similar to Hex. And Wisetoken is definitely the next best thing. Now, I heard a lot of people say, well, why isn't Wisetoken on other platforms? Ethereum's got huge gas fees, blah, 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 blah. And none of that matters because people have tried to launch clones of Hex on other blockchains and have failed because the user base isn't there. Wisetoken definitely has the user base, over 8,000 users already, 8,000 wallets going to be in this. And I think that this number, if you look at some other top coins on Uniswap, can easily double, which can see our Ethereum amount easily double, which can see our price easily double as well. That's something that a lot of people just don't understand. They think that this coin is just going to dump on day one. And just with the nature of how the coins were released, yeah, there are some people in profit, but the only reason why it would dump so heavily is if you assume that 100% of the people buying in here are degenerate gamblers who just looked to get some Wisetoken very cheap and just wanted to sell it immediately on day one as it launched. Now, yes, granted, I'm sure that there are some people like that in Wisetoken, but I personally think that the majority of people are not going to just give up the potential upside. Just like with Hex had, if you gave up the potential upside with Hex and you sold at the first pump, you really probably missed out on staking on the long term, on just holding on the long term and getting a lot of the benefits on the long term. So the price of Hex being up is really beneficial to Wisetoken overall. The other beneficial thing is Ethereum is on a rally as well. So Wise is tied to the Ethereum price. So as the price of Ethereum goes up, the price of Wise goes up as well, because I mean it's paired 100% with Ethereum. So like as this bull run continues, the bull run for Wise is also going to continue, which is going to get more eyeballs on the coin itself. And it being a top Uniswap coin, let's just go over and see on Uniswap top coin. We'll go to uniswap.info. Like I said, this is going to launch at number 7 or number 8. It's going to be on the front page of Uniswap in the next couple of hours right here. Either number 7 or number 8 right here, or maybe even above Uniswap with the amount of liquidity, $57 million in liquidity. It's going to be insane, and even more eyeballs are going to be checking out Wisetoken with that. Now, like I said, of course, you're going to have people that say this thing's dead in the water. You have the same people say the same thing for Hex. And whether you like Hex or not, you could have made a ton of money on Hex from just ignoring the people that said this thing is a giant failure on day one. And I think the same case is going to be true for Wisetoken. A lot of people are speculating a major dump, usually the opposite of what you think is going to happen. And, you know, the same thing, like what I thought for Wisetoken was this thing, you know, avoid day one, avoid day two. Those are going to be the most populous days. Try it out a little bit later. And sure enough, days 1 and 2 had some of the lowest amount of ETH in the contract altogether. So these would have been your best days to buy. As you can see, the thousands and the 900s continued throughout the rest of the entire contract. Completely and totally did the opposite of what Hex did when it launched. So that's just something to keep in mind. What you expect to happen, obviously, usually doesn't happen, and sometimes the complete opposite does happen for that. So in this video, I also want to show you guys how to stake Wisetoken. So let's go ahead and get into that. The staking system looks like this. So you can actually create a stake using Wise or Ethereum. So you don't have to go to Uniswap to buy Wisetoken immediately. You can just use ETH to stake Wisetoken immediately, or if you just get your Wise tokens, you can stake them immediately. So this is not live, but you can see the actual numbers on here because I mean, the price is tied to what Wise is. So if you were to stake, let's just say 100 Wise tokens, you're going to be staking 1,000 shares of Wise tokens. And let's just say you stake that for 100 days, you're going to be getting a duration bonus of 1.37% for staking these Wise tokens. And if you're using a referral link, you're going to be getting 10% more also for staking these Wise tokens. So at the end of that 100 days, you're going to be getting an additional 11.13 Wise tokens. You have to move the decimal point over, I think, 1 here. So that's going to be your total shares. You're going to get a total of 113.7 Wise tokens at the end of that. So obviously, that's not a ton of Wise tokens, but you can make this number a lot higher. And obviously, some of the whales are going to be doing that. And you can really start to see what you could be earning over time for the duration that you're putting it in there. Just like with Hex, it's working with Hex. People that have staked in Hex are currently the ones laughing all the way to the bank, while the people that said this thing's going to be dead and fail in the water are the ones that are, you know, they're just missing out on what Hex is doing. And I think that Wisetoken definitely has the potential to not only do similar things to what Hex is doing in terms of the price movement, because the structure is similar, but put people's minds at ease a little bit more, because I mean the OA address in Hex is one of the reasons why people don't like it. There's just a factor there that is not controlled by the general public. One person can press a button and destroy the entire coin. And with Wisetoken, it being trustless, it taking out that altogether, I think it has a lot more upside potential overall. So a lot of things to look at here. Again, if you're staking, you can stake for a longer period of time. So this is only going to give you, you know, this many shares. What is this? I have to move this point over. So this is going to be, what is that? 1,000 or 11,136 tokens altogether. But if you increase that staking duration, let's just say you do that for a year, then you're going to be getting a 5% bonus. And again, you might say a year is a long time, but when you look at what happened with Hex, those people that staked for a year getting that huge bonus right there of 5% on top of the coins that they already had, on top of the price appreciation, it's looking like a lot of money that you could have made from doing those longer stakes in Hex. So Wise, similar thing. I will be doing a stake in Wise later today once this thing launches. Perhaps I'll make a video out about it, and I'll give you guys the deets and show you guys how I'm earning. But that's just me. If you guys want to go ahead and sell for profit, maybe you got it at a cheap price and you want to sell for like maybe 5 or 10% profit immediately, then go right ahead and do that. But I honestly do think that this thing it's the only other thing out there that's like Hex, to be honest, and it has a ton of upside potential in the short run. Now, that doesn't mean it's guaranteed to perform similarly or better than Hex, but again, it's the only other thing like it, and just with the trends of how people see success in one thing jumping into another thing, I just think that there's just a ton of upside potential. Let me know what you guys think about this. I know there are some people that love it, there are some people that hate it, there are some people that are smartly in between. Let me know what you guys' opinions about this in the comments section. Make sure you guys have followed the channel, kingoffomo.com, also my podcast, and my chat. That's t.me/kingoffomo1 in the chat in the description below, and I will be more than happy to listen. I won't ban you unless you're being egregious, just because you disagree and you think that Wisetoken is not good. But of course, we will see a lot of people that have been doing that, speculating, saying that Wisetoken is going to dump to nothing on launch day. We'll see if that case is actually true. I mean, what happened with Hex? It did. That's what happened. It dumped on launch day, and it's since pretty much recovered all the way since launch day. So, even if it does dump, I'm not going to be too worried for the next couple of weeks. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm looking forward to a lot of other things. There's other things I wanted to talk about with Wise. There's also something to keep in mind. There's not a single person that owns all of the Wise tokens. You can look in the contract yourself. I think one person owns 2.5%. And even if they just dump 100% of everything, like in 6 hours, it's not going to destroy the price. So that's a huge benefit in terms of organic growth for this thing. It's going to be very uncommonly rare for everyone to decide to dump at the same time 6 hours from now. It just doesn't happen that way when you have an even distribution. You have a lot more brains thinking a lot differently rather than everyone doing the same thing. You never really have a hive mind mentality mindset like that. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.